Hi guys, it's Jackie M from Masters of Malaysian Cuisine, and we are back with Munching March, and this is session number 5. And today we have Raw Chef Yin, and also I just want to give a special welcome to our partner broadcasters. Masa apa tak jadi hari ini, apa khabar semua, and also apa kau rasa? Apa khabar semua? Hari ini kita akan live bersama Chef Raw Chef Yin. Dia akan membuat tart chocolate vegan. Welcome everyone. Say hello, let us know where you're watching from, and hit us up with any questions you have, whether in Malay or in English or even in Chinese. Okay, but you have to Chinese could be tricky because we can't read Chinese. But anyway, yeah guys, welcome. Make sure you click on like and share this around and comment. This will really help us to get the word out for people who are interested in our content. And like I said, in particular, when we have Raw Chef Yin on, her skills are very, very niche, very specific, and very high in demand. Okay, so again, welcome everyone. Say hello, and we're going to play a quick clip from Tourism Malaysia. I'll come back and say hello to Raw Chef Yin. Hey guys, it's Jackie. I'm back again with Masters of Malaysian Cuisine. Again, this is part of our Easter month special, Munching March, and we have Raw Chef Yin. Hey, how you doing, Yin? Okay, why can't we hear you? Let me have a look. Is it just me, or can Paul? Can you hear Raw Chef Yin? No. Okay, so we can't hear you. So did you want to check your microphone? Actually, let me just remove you and add you back in, and see how it goes. Let me just add Lisa. Lisa's still trying to join us. And Yin, can you say something? Okay, we still can't hear you. No. We have just had technical problems all afternoon, guys. I'm really sorry about this, but that's the beauty of live streaming. And Lisa, can you say hello? Apa khabar, Lisa? Lisa can't hear us either. Okay. Okay, so while Raw Chef Yin comes back to join us, guys, make sure you say hello and hit us up with any questions. Let us know where you're watching from. And we're going to try and bring Lisa back on screen. Hey, Lisa, can you hear us? Lisa?
I'm ready. Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, you are here. Cool. Now we can hear you. So Raw Chef Yin was just having some technical problems. We lost her audio, so she's just hopefully going to join back, and things will be okay. So Lisa, tell us a little bit about what you're doing over in Germany.
Oh gosh, I'm doing a lot of cooking as usual. What else can I do, right? A little bit, yeah, but I've been quite these days. Loyal customers that wants to have really Malaysian food, yeah? And they are very young Germans. So Germans are actually tasting our food and trying all the different kind of food that we make. So the last round I made was like rendang, lemak. So yeah, and tomorrow is chicken rice. So I do every week different menu for them, and they take it as is, and they are really excited, and they are like, oh, what in Malaysia? What can we have some more? So yeah, that's what I've been doing, introducing food to Germans here.
Oh, that's very cool. Well, somebody's got to do it. Again, guys, welcome and say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. Let's just bring Yin back in. Hi, Yin. Can you hear us?
Hi, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. So let's see how we go. I'm going to remove myself, and I'll remove actually Lisa from screen, but you can hear both of us. Okay. Okay. Great. Yeah. So what are you making today?
I can hear you, but I don't
Okay.
see.
I am going to show you how to make this chocolate tartlets. Well, it's chocolate tarts, but it's chocolate tarts, so I call it tartlets. And it is it's raw vegan, so there's no baking. I've tried to keep it as simple as possible so those who are watching can actually make it at home. And it's going to have 3 components. There is the tart crust, the filling, and the toppings. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. So there's no baking at all. I'm really curious to know what you're going to be using to make this with.
Yeah, okay. So for the tart crust, so instead of this is a very healthy recipe, but I'm making sure that it also tastes good because I don't want like healthy equals yucky, you know. I'm a foodie and I really love my food as well. So we're going to use for the flour or flour, if we call it in Malaysia, we're going to use almonds and sunflower seeds. And then to add in a bit more flavoring, there is nutritional yeast. And I spoke about nutritional yeast the last time when we did the Chinese New Year auspicious tarts. Yeah. So if some of you don't know what it is, you can check this out. You can get it you can get it online or in any of the organic stores in Malaysia. They have it. The vegans are very familiar with this. But if you don't have nutritional yeast, you can leave that out. Because I just added it for a bit more flavor. You can put in some salt as well because we have a bit of salt. And I'm also using for all my recipes, I use a natural unrefined sweetener. So today I'm using 2 sweeteners. One is for this particular crust is going to be this coconut syrup. Yeah. And I'm also later going to use gula melts as well. So yeah, so the coconut syrup will act as a binder as well as a sweetener. And then the last thing that is going
high in demand. Okay. Sorry about that. I thought I had it muted and it's going. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So like do the nuts and the sunflower seeds need to be cooked first or?
Okay, so what I do is they don't need to be roasted or cooked, but what I do is I actually activate it. So in the raw food world, we call it activating the nuts and seeds. Just simply because a lot of times, a lot of nuts and seeds, they have enzyme inhibitor covering it. So and some people may have problems digesting. So if you just want better digestion, we always activate it. So what we do is we soak it. So yeah, just soak it in filtered water, and then I soak the sunflower seeds for 4 hours, the almonds for 8 hours, and then just rinse it. And then that's the part where you do need the dehydrator to just dry it out. But you know, if you're making it very small portions, you can always skip that step. It's fine. It's just for if you want better digestion, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then the last thing that goes into the crust is cacao butter, which has been melted already. So let me just show you, just in case some of you are not familiar. This is how it may come in. It can come in different forms. It comes in buttons, or it comes in blocks where you need to cut and shave it, or sometimes it comes in little cubes. And at this temperature right now, Malaysian temperature, it's still a bit hard, so you need to actually melt it. So I just melted. You can just use the double boiler method to melt it, or if you have a dehydrator, you can just melt it in the dehydrator. So the cacao butter is it comes from the cacao beans, which is used to make chocolate. So that also acts as a binder as well to bind the nuts together to form the crust. And also, I feel like it has a slightly chocolatey flavor, just a very slight flavor there. Yeah, so that's why I use it. And again, this is it's all good and high quality ingredients. It's all good for you. In fact, some people take this and they melt it down and they just apply it to your skin as a moisturizer as well. So yeah, if it's good for your skin, it'll be good for your health. So
is that expensive though, or is it like, how does it compare to like regular butter?
Yeah, this is slightly more expensive. It is. So I remember when I first started. So this pack in Malaysia is like 50 ringgit for 250 grams, I think. So it's slightly on the expensive side. Some people ask me whether they can use coconut oil or not. You could. The only thing is, if you're in Malaysia, because coconut oil in Malaysia is actually liquid form. So if you're in a colder country, then you could substitute that for this recipe, coconut oil, because coconut oil, this acts as a stabilizing agent as well, so that your crust, like you can see the crust now, it's firm, you see, because it brings it all
Sure.
together and stabilizes it. But if you use coconut oil in Malaysia, then your crust will just most probably fall apart because it's melted. But whereas
Got
if
it.
you're in a colder country and colder temperatures, then it's okay. Yeah, so
Sure,
yeah.
sure. Okay, I see what you mean.
The other thing you can use, which is not technically raw, because this is raw. If you look at the, it's actually written raw. If you don't need to be technically raw, you could try. You could use cocoa butter. So cocoa butter is much cheaper. Yeah, and you can get that in
Okay.
the baking stores. Yeah, you can get it in the baking stores. I've seen it in the stores. There's also this brand that I use, Ben's Etikoa, which is a vegan chocolate factory in Cheras. You can also get it from them. So it's that's not very expensive. I think I got it like 300 grams for 30 ringgit or something. Slightly less. I mean, it's yeah, cheaper than this. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. But you're not going to be eating a lot of it, so it will last you some time anyway. Because I'm only
Okay,
using 2 tablespoons of it. Yeah. So
sure,
okay.
sure.
Then for the filling, like I said, I've tried to keep it simple. There's only 4 ingredients for the filling. So I am using, because it's chocolate, right? So I'm using cocoa powder. No, not cocoa powder. Cacao powder, which is I wanted to say it's like nutritionally more superior than cocoa powder, I suppose. Yeah. So this is my favorite
Okay,
cacao powder right now, Organic Q Superfoods cacao powder. I'll be using a lot of Organic Q products. So if you guys want to, if you're in Malaysia or Singapore, you can use my discount code Chef Yin, yeah, for that. And
cool.
it's high in magnesium. Yeah, and it's also a superfood, so you can use that. But if you're not 100% raw, you can always go ahead and use your 100% cocoa powder as well. So
So the
yeah.
reason you don't use cocoa powder is because it's been processed differently. Is that right?
Yeah, because cocoa powder would already it's not considered raw just because it's processed at very high temperatures, and sometimes it
Okay.
goes through a alkalizing process as well. And also just taste wise, the cacao powder tastes way better than the cocoa powder. I also have cocoa powder. I've tried out recipes using just like cocoa, and I've tried using cacao, and cacao tastes better.
Okay.
Initially also I used to go like, oh, but cocoa powder is so much cheaper. But I think just in terms of nutrients as well, because it's very funny, like because I took a couple of courses, right, on raw food. So my first course was in 2015, and I was always using cocoa. And then in 2016, I went and did I furthered and did more raw vegan courses, and this was in at the Matthew Kenny Raw Vegan Academy, Matthew Kenny Academy. And then my instructor asked me like, "Oh, do you use cacao a lot?" I said, "Oh, actually, I just use cocoa, because we have that a lot in Malaysia." And she's like, "Oh,
Mhm.
but then you won't get all your magnesium and all your benefits and all the vitamins and minerals." And I was like, "Oh, okay." But that was because that was many years ago when the cacao powder was more expensive. There were brands that were really expensive, but now Organic Q is a Malaysian company, and they've brought it in and they brought down the price. So now I'm using that.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure, sure. Now, you mentioned the magnesium. Is it because it's been
yeah.
fortified with magnesium, or is that naturally occurring in
I think
cacao?
it's naturally occurring. Yeah,
Okay, sure,
yeah,
sure, sure.
yeah. It's not fortified. Whereas, yeah, like the nutritional yeast, they do fortify it, but cacao, no, it comes naturally. Yeah.
Okay, sure, cool. All right. So,
Yeah.
what do you have to do next?
And then, I'll just finish up talking about the filling ingredients. I think we just talked about the powder, and then I'm putting in bananas this time to make it creamy because there's no cream and we're not putting any eggs on it. We're not putting any dairy, right? So I'm putting bananas as the creamy element. And then, like I mentioned, I'm also using for the sweetener for this one, for the filling, I'm using gula melts, which is basically our organic version of gula melaka because it's low GI, there's no preservatives, it's rich in minerals. And this is Malaysian as well. This is a Malaysian brand. So it's from the forest of Borneo. Yeah, so it says Nira. Yeah. Kandungan, Nira
yeah,
kelapa. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The
And
is there a reason why, like, I always thought that like gula melaka is healthy anyway. So is there a reason why you use that?
yeah, I'm using this. Well, number one, I really like the taste. The taste
Okay.
is really, yeah, because you know how gula melaka has kind of like a smoky, rich caramel
Yeah.
flavor. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love using that. And this is yeah, it's considered healthier because it's they also send this for lab tests and they found that it's low GI. And
Okay.
this brand is like non-GM, no non-GMO, there's no preservatives, you know, there's no
Okay.
colorings, that kind of
Right.
thing. Yeah, so that's why I'm
Sure.
using it. And the reason why I'm using two different sweeteners this time, just the crust, I'm using the coconut syrup because I wanted something lighter so that you can see a difference because if not, the gula milk tends to be a bit dark. So I wanted the contrast between the chocolate filling and the crust. Yeah, but if you're
Okay.
not fussy about how the colors turn out and all that, then you can just use, you know, just one kind of sweetener. But yeah, I was just looking at it from a visual point of view as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, and then I think just the last ingredient for the filling is just coconut oil. Today I'm using Marylebone uh coconut oil just because it's, you know, extra virgin cold press. Is it cold press? I know it's extra virgin. It's extra virgin coconut oil, but you can use any, yeah, any coconut oil of your preference. Yeah, and again that makes the makes the filling very nice and rich and smooth. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
So that's that's the description about the ingredients, and I'll go into the process now. We're going to use a food processor and a blender for this. I'm using obviously my slightly higher end equipment, but you don't need to use a Thermomix and a Vitamix. You can just use any food processor and blender that you have in your kitchen. So
Sure.
we're going to start with the hot crust. Okay. Um, right. So I'm just going to put the almonds and the sunflower seeds into the food processor
Cool.
first. So we'll process this first and then we'll add in the rest of the ingredients.
So there's no flour of any sort in this.
No, because there's no, I don't use any white flour at all.
Okay.
My body cannot take it. Today I had, for lunch, I had, yeah, I had something with oh, what I was saying was I had to make cinnamon rolls for my culinary assignment. I'm actually taking a course right now. And
Wow.
yeah, and the cinnamon rolls taste amazing, but my body was like protesting after eating it. So yeah,
My goodness.
yeah, I cannot take it. So yeah, you want to just process it into flour-like consistency. Can you see?
Okay. Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's turned out a lot smoother than I expected. I thought you'd have to blend it for quite a while.
No, really, I this time I went higher speed, so it was speed
Sure.
10, I think 10 seconds. Oh no, I did
Okay.
15 seconds. I think the
Okay.
last time I did 10. Yeah. Okay, and then so I'm just gonna add in the flavorings, which is just the salt and the nutritional yeast.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm so curious about nutritional yeast. Vegan chef Dave in MOMC was saying that it's one of his two favorite ingredients in vegan cooking. I'm like, wow, I never thought.
Yeah. It also became it's all things like nutritional yeast and cacao powder and all that was very strange to me when I first became vegan as well. I'm like, wow, all these, then I have to go and hunt for it. And that was, in 2014. Now it's easily available, and any of the shops would have it. Even like I think I've seen nutritional yeast even in Tesco and all that, so it's really easy to find. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So I'm just gonna put in the two other. Let me just double check. So I put in the almonds. Okay, so now I need to put in my cacao powder and my coconut syrup. Not cacao powder. Sorry, my cacao butter. Okay, so I'm putting in the sweetener, the coconut syrup I mentioned, and the cacao butter. So the liquids are going in now.
Cool.
Yeah, so these are the wet ingredients. So it's actually quite similar to, I mean, if you think about the techniques as in, you know, normal baking, I suppose you would, traditional baking, you have your wet ingredients and your dry ingredients, and then you
Yeah.
mix them together. Yeah, so this is the same thing. So I had my dry ingredients just now, which was the almonds and the sunflower seeds and the salt and then the nutritional yeast. And then after that, I'm putting in the wet ingredients, which are the sweetener, the coconut syrup, and the cacao butter. And then we'll just blend it up again so that it will form a crust. It will
Sure.
stick together.
Guys, don't forget to hit us up with any questions you have. Raw Chef Yin charges a lot of money to learn from her. So you're actually learning this new recipe. You don't know how much time she's put into developing this recipe. So make sure you take notes. And if you want the recipe, of course, you can sign up at malaysianchefs.com/join today. It's all free, guys. What we do for you guys is free. So make sure you sign up to get a hold of the recipe when it's ready.
Yeah, I think if they want to get my courses, it will start at 75 US dollars, I think. But there's many recipes. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just testing it. Yep. It's come together already. I think I might have over processed it early on, but it's okay.
So does the banana overpower the taste of the cacao powder? Is the cacao powder very cocoa? Because I always think of cocoa as very strong. Is cacao powder less strong?
That's actually quite interesting because you were asking about the bananas, right? I think it depends on which country you're in, right? In Malaysia, you will taste the banana inside the filling, but I actually love bananas. I eat bananas every day, so I don't mind.
Sure.
But you know, like I know when I was in Australia, when I eat the bananas, there's like no taste. And then when I'm in London, like, it's like bananas have no taste. And even in the US, it's like there's zero taste, you know. So you only get the creaminess and you get the sweetness, but you don't really get the banana taste. But in Malaysia, I think in Malaysia, if you get like the pisang montel or the larger ones, which have a slightly less blend, if you don't like the banana taste.
Pisang tanduk? No.
It's usually like montel, right? I think is it montel?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know pisang tanduk.
I think pisang tanduk would be pisang tanduk is almost like a plantain, isn't it? So that might mean I think usually you may need to cook it a little bit. Yeah, usually they cook it. Yeah, but the bigger ones that have less taste. Yeah. If you don't like the banana taste, you could actually use cashews as well. People soak cashews and they use it as a tart filling. The other alternative would be to use avocados. But I just thought like bananas, at least for our Malaysian audience, it's so much easier to find bananas than avocados. And it's also cheaper than cashews as well. And I was also trying to include an element of a fruit in it because then it gives it's lighter. Because if it's not, if you put cashews, then it becomes very heavy. It's very nut heavy, you see. So some people find like raw food is too much nuts and it becomes very heavy. So okay. So let me see. Let me move this away. Now we have the crust here. So we just need to. We don't need to roll it out or blind bake or anything. So I actually find that doing this raw food style is actually easier. What we need to do, I'm using this mini tart pan. This is a 2.5-inch one. And make sure it has a removable bottom because you'll need to just push it out because we are not baking it. Because usually when you bake it, then it kind of shrinks out and then you can take it out easier. But
Right.
because we're not baking, right? So make sure you have something with a removable bottom.
Sure.
If you don't have and you still want to use something like this without a removable bottom, what you could do is you could line it with plastic wrap and then just press the crust in. But it won't come out so pretty though, because I've done that before. It doesn't, you don't really get the, you don't really get, if you look here, you can actually see the
Yeah.
sides, right? Yeah, it's quite defined in this one. But if you
Sure.
use this and the cling wrap, you won't get it. And then a lot of people are like, no, don't use plastic. So yeah, we'll try not to. Okay. So to make the crust is very simple. You just scoop out some of the crust, put it onto the top. Oh, sorry, I actually was supposed to set up the overhead, but we had technical problems with that as well. So
Everybody had technical problems today.
Yeah, it's so weird. Let me try and come closer to the camera or something. So no. Okay, anyway, let me no, I have to put it down. But you guys can see, right? Because you need to use both your thumbs and just basically press it in actually. And
Sure.
then just shape it. Yeah, so just use your hands and shape it.
Sure.
Has
So
Lisa
yeah,
disappeared?
yeah. So her internet was really flaky, which is ironic considering she's over in Germany. So for those of you who are just watching this, Lisa was supposed to do the Malay translations. She can, because Lisa is a little bit nutty. I thought it should be a good person to bounce off you, especially since we've got
right.
our audience from Upper Kaurasa, so that they can actually engage in Malay. But unfortunately, her internet is not wanting to come to the party today. And you were having problems logging on too, because you were.
Yeah, it's so strange because I never had problems previously. Always just, it used to be always just.
Just click on the link and it just opens up.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
meant to be foolproof. Yeah.
yeah. Let me attempt to speak English. Apa khabar semua? Baik, sihat. Hari ini Chef Yin buat apa ni? Chocolate tart yang tidak perlu baking. Okay,
Tak
so
perlu dimasak, tak perlu dibakar kan.
ya, senang saja dan guna bahan-bahan yang sihat dan lezat.
Dan mahal. Okay, cool. Nice.
There you go. So that's what you that's how you do it. You just use your fingers and then just press it in, and then
Sure.
shape it. And then now we're going to make the filling. The filling's super simple. Just put in all the ingredients, blend it up, and then we'll pour it in. There is one thing though, because in usually what I have always been told is that okay, so we are going to use bananas, cacao, the gula melts, as well as the coconut oil. I've always been taught, and a lot of the raw teachers and all that, they always say that you only put in the coconut oil at the very last minute because they feel you should stream in the coconut oil. But I don't know. And the reason is because if you put in the coconut oil first and you blend it up all together, there's a strange smell. But I've never encountered that, So I don't know whether it's just because it's just coconut oil from, maybe it's in the US or UK, in the European countries, that's what happens. But
Is there a
Malaysia,
particular grade of coconut oil you go for, or like does any coconut oil work?
Well, if you're looking for nutrition, then you want the cold pressed extra virgin coconut oil. so
Okay.
that yeah, and also I think because it's also using less heat. But if you not a lot of actually I know a lot of raw chefs, they actually use the refined coconut oil, which says and it's on some of the cans it actually says odorless and all that. So you don't,
Sure.
because you don't want a strong coconut oil taste. You want to taste the
Sure.
other things as well. I actually like the taste of coconut oil, so I don't mind. So maybe it's just because my taste, but I don't really taste it. I don't, as in like I don't find that blending it too much brings out a
Sure.
weird strong taste. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put everything in. But if you find that that is the case for you, if it's too strong, what you need to do is just blend the three ingredients first, and then when everything else is blended, then you just kind of stream it in and that blends just a little bit. Yeah. But for
Okay.
me, I'm like, I don't find that.
So is cacao less chocolatey than cocoa, or is it the same?
I actually feel that cacao is more chocolatey. I mean, it's the same it's the same raw ingredient, right? It's just that it's less processed. Oh, although no, I'm thinking about cacao nibs. Although no, if roasted cacao nibs will taste in terms taste stronger than the non-roasted ones. We're talking about cacao nibs, which we'll use as toppings, cacao nibs. But I
Okay.
do feel like cacao powder, I feel like because when I make ice creams, like I make chocolate ice cream with this, and then I make chocolate
Mm-hmm.
sauce with this, and I make chocolate mousse with it, and I make chocolate
Mm-hmm.
cake with it. It tastes better. And in fact, my students have told me it tastes better. Now I remember because when I first started, I used both, right? And I used just like normal cocoa powder.
Mm-hmm.
One
Mm-hmm.
of my students, and one of my students, she uses cacao. She preferred the cacao taste better. Yeah. And I
Okay.
know for my ice creams, this will taste. I actually like the taste better. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
if you're talking about like raw chocolates and normal chocolates as in it's already
Mm-hmm.
made in chocolate form, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think yeah, I think actually the non-raw chocolates will have a better flavor because they really roast the beans to bring out the different
Got it.
flavors of the
Sure.
cocoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Sure.
Okay, so let's just blend this up.
I just want to say hello to everyone who's actually commented. Weave the Story is watching from Lisbon in Portugal, and they moved from Sydney recently and missing Sydney Asian food. Yes, Sydney is pretty awesome. Sia Mei Ing said hello, Chef Yin earlier. Ada orang kata Malaysia hujan kan? It's raining. Is it raining quite heavily? David Gregory is watching from Sydney, Australia. So we've got our Sydney crew watching. Elaine Heckman watching from the Netherlands, and Sheila Arman watching from Frankfurt. Guten Tag. As Samad says, hello, Chef Yin. Eve says, hello, Chef Yin. Sheila Arman says, I do the same coffee with cacao, but with coconut oil. And Paul Gray, of course, our co-founder and Health Nuts, Keto Nuts, uses coffee, coconut oil, cacao, collagen powders, sometimes Himalayan salt. But of course, Shah Ghani says hello from KL. Hello, Shah. Good to have you. Yeah, sorry. So go on.
No
So
problem.
that's the banana, cacao powder, and the sugar.
Coconut oil and the gula melt. Yeah, so four
Okay.
ingredients. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of, well, I'm just gonna pour it direct. What I usually do is, I mean, I pour it into a piping bag and I pipe it nicely, but you know,
Okay.
I think today we can just pour it in.
Sure.
Because you know we have too many steps. Yeah. All right. And then what you should do is tap it to remove the air bubbles. And
Sure.
then we'll what I usually do is I put it into, so this is how it looks like now. Yeah.
Nice.
I put it into the fridge for an hour so that it can set a bit, so that you know the cacao butter and the coconut oil will set, so that it's
Okay.
not so runny. In fact, maybe later I'll cut out one of them so you can see what the texture is like. And then
Yeah.
I just want to talk about like the toppings to make it look pretty chante. Okay. What you can do is number one. What I've done is this one. Yeah, usually you will have some left over because this recipe for the tart it usually makes 4 to 5 tarts using this size, which I was saying, the 2.5
Okay.
cm.
Sure.
So you should have a little bit of chocolate filling left. So what I'm just going to just double it up as a drizzle. So I just put it
Okay.
into a bottle. Let me just check to make sure that it comes out. Sometimes it squeezes out and then it doesn't squeeze out. And or you can put it into a piping bag as well, like I said. But yeah. But once I put, yeah. So you can just drizzle. You can actually put your toppings first and then drizzle, or you can drizzle and put in your toppings. Totally up to you. I think I'm going to drizzle first and put my toppings. So maybe
Sure.
this one, I have 1, 2, 3 here, right? So one, I'm going to do the drizzle in the center. Yeah. And then one, I'll do the drizzle kind of at the side. And then another one, I'm just going to do like kind of a cross, maybe. Okay. And then you can put anything you like. Actually, so I'm giving you some suggestions what I've done. Pink peppercorn. Have you heard of pink? Have you used pink peppercorn?
No.
Yeah. So this one. Oh, do I have the? I don't know whether I brought the. I don't think I brought. Sorry, I didn't bring the thing up. So it's very interesting. So this is also something that I learned in culinary school way back in 2015. Using pink peppercorn. It's actually not peppercorn. It's actually a berry. So and we do use it in some of our desserts as well. Both for visual effect because it's pink, and it also tastes. It's quite an interesting taste. It's slightly similar to Sichuan pepper. Slightly, not totally.
Huh.
Yeah. So you can
Okay.
use that. Yeah, because chocolate and chili pair very well together. I think in a lot of Mexican dishes, they actually use chocolate and chili a lot, and they also have the drink with chocolate and chili as well. So that's that. You could use this is coconut flakes, yeah, and
Okay.
I put some dehydrated lemon zest as well. There's also edible rose petals. There's also the ham parts. So you would see me using the ham parts quite often. This is the ham parts. Again, another superfoods. This is high in protein. And then there's cacao nibs, yeah, which I say is like kind of like a healthier version of cacao powder. And then
Sure.
these are my healthy sprinkles. So you can see, I actually just basically took these ham parts and I mixed it with the other superfoods to create colors. So this is, I mix the ham parts with the spirulina for green, and then just a bit of turmeric for the yellow and beetroot. Yeah, so that's what it is. Those are my healthy sprinkles, and I also sprinkle that on top of my raw vegan ice cream as well. Yeah.
Huh.
So let me just sprinkle these on top.
So how's like the healthy like turmeric powder different to the regular turmeric powder I might buy?
Okay, so this one is the number one is organic. Number two is the one from the Lakadong region. So what is good about the turmeric powder is the curcumin component, and so this
Okay.
is higher levels of curcumin. So it has
Okay.
like I think 5%. It's 5% compared to like your normal ones is only 2 to 3%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Cool.
And then this one I'm going to make it colorful. I'm going to use the colorful sprinkles. Okay. And then this one already has the coconut, so we'll put in a bit more coconut flakes. And this one we'll put the cacao. Actually, this one, if you top it with fruits, it'll be really nice as well, you know. You can put like strawberries or blueberries or any berries and all that. Or maybe even like if you cut out like tiny little bits of mango as well, yeah. So
Cool.
yeah,
Nice. Very cute.
How it is.
Very
Okay,
nice.
cool.
Cool.
So that is the process of making the these raw vegan chocolate tarts.
Sure. Are you going to cut one in half for us?
Oh yes. Thanks for reminding me. I always do this. I always say like I'm going to do this later, and then after that I completely forget. Right. All right. Let's get a knife and let's cut this. Which one? Some of it has been. Ooh. I think it's
Masna says,
softened
"Hi,
already
Chef
because
Jack. The Hungarians use paprika in the chocolates and desserts too. Yummy, spicy, dark chocolate."
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah.
And Chloe asks, what does pink peppercorn taste like? I think, yeah, you were saying it tastes a little bit like Sichuan peppercorn.
Yeah, I think it would be something like, but not so spicy and not numbing.
Sure. Yeah. But it's not sweet or anything like that, since you said it's a berry.
It's not sweet. Let me. Okay, you know what? I have a spoon here. Let me taste it. Let me taste it now so I can tell you. It actually tastes a bit like pepper. It's kind of like a floral pepper.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, which kind of matches its taste, right? It looks right because it's pink and all that. So yeah, that's how it looks like when it's cut.
Oh, very cool. So it's set beautifully.
Yeah. With the because of the cacao butter and the coconut oil. Yeah, just don't put it under blazing hot Malaysian sun.
Yeah. Okay, can you just quickly run through the filling and the crust ingredients again for those who joined us late?
Okay, sure. So for the crust, we use, let me just double check. We use almonds and sunflower seeds as the flour component. There's also, I use also French sea salt. You can use any salt you want. And nutritional yeast to flavor it a bit. And then I use coconut syrup, as well as cacao butter. This is the cacao butter. Yeah, so that's the crust. And then for the filling, it's bananas, cacao powder, gula melts. Where did my gula melts go? Sweetener, and what's the other thing? And coconut oil.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
No salt in it.
I didn't because this one has kind of a salty flavor to it. But you could add in some salt. You could also add in some vanilla extract as well. I think that would be very nice. But today I'm trying to keep the ingredients minimum.
Simple.
Yeah, and simple, because I think the last one I had a lot of ingredients.
Yeah, because
I just want to make it very slightly more accessible to people so they can actually make it at home. But you're welcome to play around and put in, additional flavorings and all that as well. But that's the basic. Yeah. And hopefully this will give you an idea to kind of play around, like making other kind of tarts as well,
I think it's good for those who are not even full on like vegan or raw vegan, or who are interested in incorporating some raw foods into their diets. They can, or to eliminate like too much wheat or anything like that, right? They could, I guess, replicate what you used in the crust, instead of always defaulting to using like wheat flour and stuff like that.
This recipe would be gluten-free as well, because there's no wheat.
Yeah. Cool. Right. No, it's pretty clever. It's interesting. I feel like
I would say for our dear Paul who's keto, I think I mentioned you can use the Lakanto sweetener that's keto. I think any liquid keto friendly sweetener you can use that as well.
Sure.
And I think it should be keto compliant. I hope.
Sure. I know all these dietary requirements. All right. No, that's cool. Like, this is another interesting demo for everyone. Guys, don't forget, if you want the recipes, make sure you sign up at malaysianchefs.com/join today. All our chefs do this in their own time, kind of like generously for you guys, so you can actually learn to experience Malaysian flavors and basically, yeah, the one common denominator all our chefs have is that we're all Malaysian, right? Or at least we're from Malaysia or something like that. But yeah, we all like from all over the world get together a couple of times a week to show you our, our recipes and all that. So if you want to get a hold of them sent out to you in your inbox, make sure you sign up at malaysianchefs.com/join today. Well, thank you so much for this, Yin. I'm curious now to go out and try some cacao powder and see what the fuss is.
Yeah, let me know what you think. Yeah.
Yeah, I will. All right. Thanks again so much. I'll see you, everyone. And we'll bump out as usual with Tourism Malaysia. Ciao. Good night.